What's up, fight fans? Today we're diving into the rising tension around a potential super fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. And it looks like Khabib is starting to lose patience. The pressure from fans and the UFC is heating up, and a recent Instagram post from Khabib has the MMA world buzzing. Many believe it was a subtle jab at Ilia Topuria. But what did he really mean? Some fans even turned to AI to decode the post, and the results are wild. But that's just the beginning. Today's video is packed with hot news from across the MMA world, so let's take it step by step. The buzz around a Makhachev versus Topuria showdown has been building for a while now. The promotional hype is already in full swing, and Topuria isn't holding back. He's made it clear he believes he's better than Makhachev in every way, promising to either knock him out or submit him in front of Khabib. And he's not afraid to wait. I don't care if Islam doesn't want to fight me, he'll have to face me eventually. You call yourself a champion? Then fight the best. Here I am. You can't run forever. That's what Topuria told Joe Rogan, and it's only adding fuel to the fire. Right now, the lightweight division is in a weird spot for Islam. There are really only two legit contenders, Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria. But critics argue that Topuria made the leap to 155 too fast, without fully cleaning out his own division. Still, let's be honest, the lightweight top 5 isn't exactly stacked at the moment. Half of them have already lost to Islam, and the rest are riding inconsistent records. There's another layer here. Makhachev's team believes that taking this fight puts Islam in a lose-lose situation. If he wins, people will say he just beat smaller guy. If it's close, he barely survived against a featherweight, and if he loses, that's a disaster. He drops the belt and takes a massive hit to his legacy, but not everyone agrees. Chaos, presumably Colby Covington, called that logic weak. If fighters like Islam can jump to 170 and get an immediate title shot, why can't others move up and do the same? Real champions, he argues, don't duck fights.
Okay, but what you're describing for Islam to do, or potentially to do, or that you would like him to do, is exactly what Ilya's trying to do. And I just think the argument gets a little bit tough. Like, it doesn't sound that bad. For me, talking about Ilia Topuria, you got an undefeated champion of the world who's now in your weight class. Obviously, he's the #1 contender. But for other guys to go, well, but he hasn't proved it here. Matter of fact, look, he's got no ranking here. He's got no wins over anybody here. We don't discount what he did, but he didn't do it here. Okay, that's a little bit weak, but kind of hard to argue against. No matter what your argument is, you're gonna need 3, because he just brought 3 strong parts with him. And if you want to know how you're gonna be looked upon, it is important how good you are with the words. If a world champ says, come play with me, and you say no down the road, reflecting back on, that's a problem.
But
everyone seems to be forgetting one crucial point. The UFC is, above all, a business. And if they believe a fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria will sell, they'll make it happen no matter what. That's likely adding to Khabib's stress, especially as pressure mounts from both fans and the promotion itself. Recently, Khabib stirred the pot with a cryptic Instagram post featuring a bull, and the caption, "He's coming strong," which many interpreted as a nod to Topuria, who once went by the nickname El Matador, before changing it to Legend. Fans immediately started speculating. Some believe it symbolizes Islam as the bull charging toward the matador. Others joke it's a sign of Khabib and Islam being weight bullies, and a few even hope it means Khabib is coming out of retirement. MMA Pro's pick took it a step further by asking ChatGPT to decode a mysterious word from the post written in Cyrillic, Chegler Basi, which they suggest loosely translates from a Turkic dialect to something like chill or cut it out, perhaps said playfully. Meanwhile, new footage of Makhachev's training has surfaced, showing him focusing hard on strength with heavy deadlifts and bench presses, signaling he's getting even stronger. Yet, not everyone's convinced Topuria poses a threat. Mateusz Gimrat, for one, believes Ilia is simply too small to be a real danger to the reigning lightweight champ. Next,
Or unfair if Ilia Topuria fights for the title in his next fight?
He was champion in the featherweight division. Maybe this is fair. Maybe no. This is politics, in the UFC. Too many movement. For me, interesting fight, but another. But I don't know. Topuria is small guy. Islam is really big guy, and I don't think that Topuria has changed against him. Like. If you wanna fight with Islam, you have to be like big guy, like similar like him, because he's good everywhere. But if your body is smaller than him, so you don't have change for sure.
That's what a champion essentially is supposed to look like. Make the calls, go out there, deliver on the calls, then all of a sudden vacates the title. I mean, how do you feel? Because you said earlier, like you were looking at him and going, there's holes here.
I think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I mean, him and Islam, people really want to see that. Everybody has their own style, and it seems like his style is just doing what he did. Honestly, I believe Islam is just a little too much for him, but I'm also a fan, so I would love to see that. But
Ilia Topuria's next opponent remains a mystery. Charles Oliveira has reiterated that he's only interested in fighting for the title, which raises the question: if a championship is on the line, would he consider stepping in to face Topuria? Meanwhile, the middleweight division is heating up too, with Khamzat Chimaev firing shots at Dricus du Plessis. Although no official bout has been announced between them, UFC President Dana White has already expressed interest in booking the fight for International Fight Week. Chimaev recently stirred excitement by posting good news on social media, followed by a photo of himself holding the UFC belt. Not one to back down, du Plessis clapped back by reposting the image on his Instagram story, with the haunting track "Death Is No More" playing in the background. While the tension builds online, Chimaev is staying sharp, currently grinding through intense striking sessions as he prepares for his next fight in Kislovodsk, Russia.
Eu tô em busca do título, eu não corro de ninguém, nunca corri, não vai ser agora que eu vou correr, eu tô pronto pra lutar contra qualquer um desses caras, Respeito todos eles, mas vou imprimir meu ritmo e meu jogo, por que não, Se for pelo título, por que não lutar com o Topuria? Eu tô em busca do título, eu não quero fazer mais uma luta pra poder esperar o título, não. Pra mim isso não me interessa, eu quero lutar pelo título.
Te interessaria a luta pro Pimblet se fosse uma money fight ali pra você ficar esperando o título?
Cara, eu nem penso nisso. Eu tô pensando em um título, então não tem como ficar pensando em os caras que estão abaixo de mim, É um moleque duro, é um moleque que tá vindo numa ascensão muito boa, mas eu acho que eu nem penso nisso.
Agora e o Tsarukian? Se o UFC quiser fazer uma luta com ele, garantindo que quem vencer luta pelo título, também não te interessaria?
Também não penso nessa luta. Foi uma luta muito apertada entre eu e ele. Eu acho que eu ganhei 2 rounds, mas já passou, deram a vitória para ele. Eu acho que ele teve a oportunidade dele, infelizmente teve a lesão que teve, então já passou. Eu acho que, como eu te falei, a luta que tem que ser feita é a luta pelo título.
Tom Aspinall was thoroughly impressed by Jean Silva's submission win over Bryce Mitchell, praising Silva's performance and describing his technique as absolutely unbelievable.
I know I've been away. Didn't get to really react online about the Miami card last week. But this is one that I really enjoyed. Bryce Mitchell, Gene Silva. The finish was nice. He goes left hook, right onto the body, hurts him. Bryce Mitchell reacts by trying to grab the leg. And he locks up like, I would call that a ninja choke. But people call it different stuff. Like a front guillotine with the arm wrapped over like a rear naked grip. I guess you call it like a front guillotine, but he tightens it up, taps in, leaves it on a little bit longer. Bryce Mitchell, unfortunately, loses consciousness. Unbelievable technique to be able to do that in high pressure situations. He had his opponent hurt. His opponent went for the takedown straight away. He's on it. Killer instinct. Finished him with the front choke.
Carlos Prates has fired back at Ian Gary, who recently called him a quitter. In case you missed it, Ian posted a video on Instagram earlier this week, featuring footage of Prates, along with some pointed commentary aimed at questioning his toughness.
Estamos aqui treinando, ó. Enquanto o Young Gary tá na internet falando merda, tá com muito tempo livre. Tô aqui treinando. Pro dia 26, encher de murro na boca. Depois ele vai ficar falando que ele não teve tempo pra treinar, porque tava na internet falando merda.
Every morning I wake up, this is my bedroom. I get up out of bed, I see a beautiful photo of my baby boy, my wedding photo, and this bad boy. Every day I see this and it aggravates me. Every day.
Prates didn't stay silent. He clapped back with a video of his own, saying he's putting in real work at the gym while Ian is busy running his mouth online. Next, voice Merab Dvalishvili just gave fans a hilarious sneak peek of how he'd dominate Sean O'Malley in a rematch, playfully showing off how he'd smash him if they ever ran it back.
Sean, like 6 feet tall, like a tree, skinny tall guy, and this is just machine, you know? And I'm gonna just go around, and bam! Easy, bro. Easy, bro. And he's going down. That's it. Game over. And still, where is my fucking butt? Dana White, please. I'm just kidding. That is good, guys.